Today in this video, I'm going to be playing Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, but not just that, also answer a question you will likely want to know. Is the Switch 2 edition of Sonic Racing CrossWorlds even worth the $10 upgrade, or even worth buying in a Switch 2 edition physical one? So, let's not waste any more time, and let's go in and explore everything you need to see about CrossWorlds. So here we are right now in the game, and obviously the first thing you will 100% see is just how visually better everything looks. If you cast your mind back to the Switch 1 version, which likely many of you have also played this game on a Switch 2 via backwards compatible mode, you will probably have noticed how, very visually not pleasing it looks on the Switch 1, especially if you played it on a Switch 2's backwards compatible mode. But the whole reason because of that is the game on Switch 1 ran at 1080p 30 FPS when docked, and 720p 30 FPS as well in the handheld mode. But if you look right here, as I navigate through all the available menus here, you can really see that 60 FPS really does make a difference. And personally, to someone who obviously likes the 60 FPS in my games, it's definitely a huge step up, because a lot of third-party games, this game included, ran at 30 FPS and didn't even look that good in my opinion. But CrossWorlds definitely is looking really amazing. Of course, you can see all the background characters are now a lot more easier and they don't look, well, quite pixelated. The one thing I have noticed though in the Switch 2 edition, which I'm hoping Sega does address this, is you'll sometimes see these avatar characters in the background. Sometimes they will briefly, for a moment, will kind of do a T-pose glitch on them. It's hard to really capture on the footage, but I have mentioned this as well when I streamed this game on literally the day of. But let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and actually play a race, or a few racing, and let's experience the buttery smoothness of the Switch 2 edition. Alright, now we're going to be starting off with E-Stadium, and you could see for a brief moment, even during the loading screen, that it now loads faster on this one compared to the Switch 1. Keep in mind though, I am playing the Switch 1 cartridge off of the thing, but have the upgrade pack for it, which again, this costs $10 or £10 in the UK. So off we go. As you can see, we are now racing, and I have to say, it's just honestly really, really good. This game, even back on the Switch 1, was definitely very optimized for a Unreal Engine 5 game. Because yes, this is actually a Unreal Engine 5 developed Sonic game. But because this was also helped by the Initial D team as well. But you can definitely notice just how much more clearer everything looks. And if I were to show, say, the intro fanfare thing for E-Stadium, for example, you will definitely see just, well, how much more better visually it looks. And it just looks so amazing. And I definitely do think it's something that I think you all should definitely try and consider for the most part. But I've been playing this now for 2, possibly 3 months now, for when it came out back on PC, but I've been playing it for a good couple of weeks on the Switch 2 version, and heck, I've even had the great opportunity to even try it on a ROG Ally X as well. but we're not talking about those ones. We're talking about the Switch 2 version right here. You can definitely tell as well, even with the water texture, it looks so much more better than on the Switch 1, where the Switch 1 kind of makes it look, well, it almost kind of looks like, in some cases, it looks like a very early PS3 era kind of like water texture, if you know what I mean. It probably doesn't look like that, mind you, but I think it should just emphasize just how incredibly great they did with this game on the Switch 2 right here, and it definitely shows. It really definitely shows. It just looks so amazing to play. Anyways, we're coming up here to finish the job, and we are done. Here we go. And even you can see right there when the camera moves from behind where Sonic is when you were controlling him to more of the side to show the results, you can definitely see just how clean the transition was from that. So yeah, that is pretty good. Alright, let's go ahead and choose a second race. Alright, and I'm going to be choosing Colorful Mall, not Coconut Mall, which many of you might have likely thought of that, myself included. I literally call this the Sonic Coconut Mall, of all places. But yeah, here you can also have a better look as well at the just like the far away characters as well, that you can really like see them very clearly in this version, and it's definitely pretty good because of course better visuals and clarity equals more opportunity for great opportunities, I guess. I don't even know what I was saying there, but yeah, it's definitely pretty good. Right, I got Charmy right there. Take that, bud. It just looks, it just honestly just looks really good, and everything right here. Alright, we're gonna go to this one right here. And you can even see just how, like, pretty good the textures look on the Switch 2 version. It's now pretty much in parallel to the other versions, like the PS5, the series, the other, basically the PC version as well, for that matter, if you buy it on Steam, of course. It's definitely pretty much on par, thanks to the fact that the Switch 2 hardware is now like so much more better than the Switch 1. Which again, you know, there's nothing wrong with the Switch 1 version. Like I said, it's a very well optimized game, and it even plays pretty dang well. Despite it being 30 FPS and 1080p on that front, it's still pretty good. Yeah, still pretty good for the most part. This thing right here is kind of annoying. It's kind of like the equivalent to Mario Kart's blooper item, except it's actually even worse for that matter as well. Alright, avoid that magnet. Probably put that down there, and then we will take that W, just like that. So we have just done the Sonic version of Coconut Mall and all that other good stuff. Alright, I think I'm going to do 2 more tracks to kind of better explain my point about how better this version is as well. So let's do it. Alright, I'm choosing Kronos Island from Sonic Frontiers, and this will be a great way to show how better this track looks. Because if you look back at the Switch 1 version, you'll see, like, for example, those trees there, they were just kind of like a blob. I don't know what's the right word for it, but you probably know what I'm trying to say here. But it's just like the trees just look so bad in the Switch 1 version, which again, I know that's due to how the Switch 1 works and everything. But it's just like, really? Like, this kind of looks almost as worse as like the entire Switch 1 version of Frontiers itself. At least when you now play CrossWorlds on Switch 2, you can definitely see now they are actually trees and not just, well, whatever the hell they are. Also, I just fell off right there. Go me. You can even see it as well, I think, in the grass area. You can see it probably a little bit better. It probably might not even look any different, to be honest, but oh well. It is what it is anyways. Anyways, we're transitioning to this track again. Okay, I guess we're doing this. And I kind of like how when you do flips, it just like counts in screen resolutions. That's just kind of like the running joke I always have had about this game. Even when I've like first streamed CrossWorlds on PC, I literally made that joke as well. Well, I kind of started making somewhat of that joke first on the Open Network test, but there you go, I suppose. But yeah, and you can see, just look how amazing this water is. The water definitely is a lot better, and the lighting and everything else just makes it look so much more, a lot more upgraded and just visually more great to look at, in my opinion. You can even see, I think the skybox as well had a little bit of a texture resolution bump as well, I think. I don't know. See, I'm not as technical as, let's say, Digital Foundry, for example. But I have to say, though, to those who are watching, I have to say, this game is amazing, but also its Switch 2 is also amazing. Oh, and I missed the opportunity to use my shield item as well. Oh well, but we still came first place, so hey, it is what it is, right? Alright, I think I'm going to choose one last track that I think will definitely best see the water texture a lot better. So let's do that now. Alright, I'm choosing Water Palace because the only reason for that is because, well, it literally has water. And you can even see it right there when all the other races were coming in as well. They were also very smooth. The only thing you'll probably will notice that isn't quite smooth is, well, all the chows right there that aren't like proper 60 FPS and that kind of stuff. They're more like at, what, like 15 frames per second or something like that. Considering like they're also like 2D textures as well, that they're just like GIFs, I guess. But like the ones that are like actual proper like 3D models, they are actually running at 60 FPS. Alright, I got Eggman right there, and then this is Jet, who is in a car right there, and he got me. Yeah, you can really see just how better the water is on this track right here compared to the one on the Switch 1. I think a better way to actually show the water is probably if I played like Ocean View, because I think Ocean View would have a much better chance of seeing the water, like even like below the water, like the underwater kind of stuff as well. But you can even see like when we go to this track, like just how much more vibrant this track is on the Switch 2. Like I said, I am not a technical person. I am not a Digital Foundry. I can only explain to you of what I can personally see. And I fell off again because that's the best thing I can do, is just to fall off and just fail a bunch of times, I suppose. So there we go. Slip. Right, I'm going to slip ahead. There we go. And yes, there is a physical Switch 2 edition that is also coming out this year. I don't know if by the time this video is out, the physical edition of the Switch 2 game of CrossWorlds will be out. I'm assuming it will be out by then, but then again, I don't know. Like I said, I bought the Switch 1 version mainly because then I can have an excuse to not only play this game on my Switch 2, but also play it on my Switch 1, which I have been playing a bit. And I have to say, playing it on an actual Switch 1, it is definitely noticeable because the load times are definitely longer compared to the Switch 2 backwards compatible, or even the actual Switch 2 edition itself with it. Alright, so it looks like Dr. Eggman this time has basically won that. Oh well, it is what it is. But it's also kind of weird that Water Palace is the only track that sometimes doesn't have its camera transition to the other side. It's just so weird. There you go, now it does it. But yeah, that was 4 races of CrossWorlds, so let's answer the question now. So, should you buy the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Sonic Racing CrossWorlds for $10 or £10 here in the UK? I honestly have to say that it is 100% worth the upgrade. Here's the thing, okay? If you like 1440p and 60 FPS, and you just cannot stand 1080p and 30 FPS, then this game on the Switch 2 is 100% worth it. And if you do already own the game on Switch 1, definitely go to your eShop right now and consider buying the game. Otherwise, maybe wait for a price drop, because when this game's Switch 2 edition came out, they actually were running a 1 week like sale on it, where you could actually get the game for £5 or $5 rather than the $10 that was advertised. But I'm going to assume it will come back at some point. So if you want to wait out for the game to go on sale for the upgrade pack for the Switch 2 edition, then yeah, might be even worth the wait if you want that. But if you really need it now, definitely go to the eShop and definitely buy the $10 upgrade. Now, there is a Switch 2 edition physical release that will be happening, and like I said, probably by the time this video is out, it'll probably will already have happened, and all that other good stuff, really. Anyways, that has been my, well, at least my attempt to answer a question you likely will have wanted to know, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit the like button if you found this video very helpful and has helped you even make your decision to purchase the Switch 2 edition if you already own it on the Switch 1. Do you enjoy CrossWorlds? Have you played it on other platforms? Have you played it on the Switch 1? Do you plan to get the Switch 2 version? Are you even planning to get it physically when it releases on Switch 2? Let me know of all that cool stuff in the comments down below. And shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for being a channel member. If you want to become a member, be sure to hit the join button down below. That is going to be it. I will see you all next time. Peace.